Hello traders, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Running Forward. I want to share with you 3 trades I made today. This is for educational purpose only. This is not financial advice. So the market is still bullish. So keep looking for bullish trades. We trade with the market. So the first one I got into is ticker symbol CPB. I like how this chart's price action is presenting itself. If we come to the weekly chart right now, we probably need to zoom out for a long time. So I don't know if you can see over here back in 2012, there were some supports near the $31.30 area, and then immediately you will say that you can see that we have some resistance at 32.30 area. Then if we zoom back in, the 31 area, $31 is about the current bottom. In this July 7th week is a long week doji. So about $31 is the current bottom. And I really liked on the weekly chart after this big green candle, this past 2+ weeks, it has been dojis showing indecision, but then none of the body of these dojis went below half point of this weekly green candle. So if we come back to the daily chart, on the daily, the 200, this pink line is the 200 SMA. This one has started to pointing up, and this blue line is the 50. So after it is zoomed up in these 2 days, has been consolidating, and then you can say that we have formed this pattern. So I got into this trade for a longer term. I think it has the potential to break this downtrend line on the weekly, and then maybe test this 200 on the weekly, and then maybe even come up here to this resistance area near the $38 range. So that's the first one I got in today. The second one is DELL Technology. This one is in an uptrend, no doubt about that. What I liked about this chart is that it pretty much stayed with the uptrend with some minor not it didn't close below the trend line, but it touched the trend line, and right now it is doing, it pulled away from the trend, but it's consolidating back, pulling back to trend. So I may have entered this one a bit early, but I did a bull credit spread. So with the time decay, hopefully that's not gonna be too much trouble by entering a little too early. The last one I entered today is NVDL. This is the 2x ETF for NVDA. This one, what I like about this chart is, as you can see, that this 85.70 has been the previous resistance area, and it has in July, price went above it, and then it came down and tested this area and found support. So now it's trying to break through this high that was made in the end of July 31st. It's trying to get through it, but has not been successful. But today there is a green candle showing up that I think it's the the buyer, the seller tried to push the price down even, maybe try retest this support area near $89, but then buyers showed up and then they pushed the price back. So it's still consolidating in this area. Um, if we look at the NVDA, that one come to the weekly chart, and that one is in the bull run for a very long time, and there's no sign for it to slow down. So getting into NVDL is an alternative because NVDA stock price is too high. So that's the reason to get into this one. And then I want to also congratulate anybody who got into CHWY, CHWY. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned CHWY to keep an eye on it, because if you come to the weekly chart, back when I did the video, I think it was this red candle, the July 28th, or maybe even before that, maybe July 21st week. I said, looks like on the weekly, that price is pulling back to trend. This trend has been to wait since July, since May of 2024. So it was over a year in the making. So I said, if it's not on your watch list, maybe it's time to put it on your watch list, but because it's pulling back to trend, and look what it did. Buyer came in and they pushed the price much higher yesterday. Some of back when I was just started trading, or maybe even several years after I got into trading, I would consider this kind of stock long gone. If I get in, I always have this fresh memory of price crashing down and um, leave me um, flee out of the door, because it was too much to bury. But right now, when I look at this kind of chart, I don't chase it, because that's not the right thing to do. I know based on the weekly chart, it could be going up to take out this high, this previous high, and then maybe take out this resistance area. That's probably the second target. But then price is not gonna go there right away. It's gonna do that zigzag motion, like it always do. It doesn't go straight up. It always does the zigzag motion. So if you see charts like this, it's in a trend. Even in the short term, we can see that it's in the uptrend, going like this. So just be patient. The price will pull back, and it will come back down. It will form a higher low, and that's when you keep closer eye on it, and then find a better time to enter. Because if right now, if you chase it, where is your stop gonna be? Below this green bar. That's Let's just use today's close. That's 6%. Maybe that's not very high for you, but if you just be patient, waiting for the price to um, pull back to trend, and then enter, you will have a much lower risk and a much better risk reward ratio. So anyway, I was just mentioning this stock because I want to congratulate anybody who paid attention and got into this stock before this grim bar happened. And then talking about long-term stocks, another one I'm looking at is UNH. I think move this over here. I think this was earnings and maybe also news driven, but UNH price crashed down from $600 to, what was that? That was 250-ish. And it was trying to bounce back up, but it has come to this resistance area and it couldn't get past. But now I think it's trying again. So if we come to the weekly chart, you can see that price on the weekly chart, price almost dropped like a knife for in this 5 week, 6 week, 5 weeks period. And if you look at these 3 bars here, I know this is the green bar for this week, but it's not finished yet. But I don't think it's gonna. I don't know what price gonna do, but let's just say that price won't move a lot tomorrow. And then if you combine this green candle with this green candle, it will be something like this. I don't know if I can draw it here. But just imagine combine these two, because these two, the close price and then open are so close. It's gonna be like a green candle this high, and then it will still be within this red candle. So what does that mean? That if you look at the candlestick pattern, that's a bullish Hiromi. So when that forms, that means longer term, it has a higher probability of going higher. So in that sense, if this one is not on your watch list, maybe keep an eye on it, because shorter term is trying to form a uptrend, in my opinion. So let's just be patient and see what the price does. Maybe it will come back down and then pull back to trend to confirm this trend, and then maybe that will be the better time to get into this one. And the first target will be to take maybe take a key over here to this resistance area here. That's about 5%. That's not much, right? But if you get in low when they pull back to trend, that's about 6%. And then the next target will be to take out this high and touch the previous low area back in June. That's about 10%. And then if we can go that far, maybe we'll come and tackle this $320-ish area. That's 20% potential gain compared to the risk of about 2-3%. Even if we measure from today's candle to the trend line, it's about 3%. Make it 4%. That's still a great risk reward ratio. So that's all I have for today. Hopefully you find some value in this video. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.